Everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me today. We have another Just Pearly Things, and we're just gonna get right into it. Let's go.
Why would we expect them to forsake their mating strategy, which is to spread their seed?
But then,
So isn't that kind of an unfair deal for men?
so then if you, then why would you stay with that person and cheat if if the woman's not giving you the youth and whatever, why keep her there and cheat on her when you can just leave and be with the youth that you want? That's my thing. Like, I don't
You
understand.
could, but I'm saying, well, is it fair that women expect it over a certain age? That's the question. Because you give your best years to someone else.
So
Like, wait,
she's
honest-
talking about going into a new relationship.
Yeah, I know, but if you go into a new relationship and say this is the car and the car has been used for the last 15
We
years.
don't have expired date, honestly speaking. Like,
Yeah.
who said that we
I had to stop it right there because women definitely have an expiration date. Men are not just getting with women just to have a woman. I mean, yes, that's part of the reason why, but men are also getting with women so that they can have children, so they can build a legacy, so that they can have a family, so that they can have somebody to help them. So, after being with so many different men, as a woman, you begin to lose your value. After a certain age, you can't even have children anymore. And after being with so many different men or being in so many different relationships, you take a piece of that with you. And so when you're at your finale and you want a husband now, finally, you're coming to him with all of this baggage, and it's kind of like, what is this? That's what they call hitting the wall. That's what it is.
gave our best to someone else? I don't even know my maximum or my best. Probably I never done to no one my best because I don't know. I give honestly. I
But-
loved
but you're-
someone before. I don't know if I get the maximum I can. I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna find tomorrow a man. I'm gonna give actually the best of myself. Who said that I already gave to someone else?
It's about what they think's the best. It's not about you because you're not the one buying. So the
What they
guys
think is the best.
Men, yes, what they think
Yeah,
is
but
the best.
a man
And
who- a man
men
who
from the
thinks-
men from the ages of 20 to 80 all think that girls are the most attractive around 22 to 24.
Okay, but like this is a man that cannot stand on his own. Like honestly, because if you honestly think that
He can't
women,
stand on his own.
yeah, because like they actually mind about what other people think. Because if you're telling me that after
Yeah,
like
but
my
you're shaming
30
men for their standards. That's shame. It's shame, insult, guilt need to be
no,
right.
that's just my point of view. I'm saying that I don't have an expired date. That doesn't mean that after, because I had 6 year relationship, I gave my best to someone. No, like if a man think this, it means that he's not that confident to like get my best. Because if you are a proper man, you're gonna get my best.
But see, that's shame. And if you're saying like,
I'm
if
not
you don't,
ashamed.
I just want to point something out. She said, if you are a proper man, then you're going to get my best. But then before that, she said, I haven't given, how do we know what's my best? I haven't given my best. I can meet somebody tomorrow and give them my best. So have you ever dated a proper man to give him your best? Hold on, here it come. When women start letting emotions speak for them, it always contradicts. So let's just see.
no.
I just don't
I'll
want
tell
it.
you. But
I don't
I'll
want
tell you why. Because you're saying if you're a real man, if you're a proper man, then you would think like me. But that's shaming men for
No,
what they want.
It doesn't have to think like me. I just don't want a man that think in this way. Just give me alone. Do you know what I mean? I want a man that it comes with confidence. Say I'm gonna get the best of you. Point. Like I'm not aspiring like just
you
because
think-
I'm 30 or yeah.
Do you think you determine what the best years are, or do you think they determine what the best years are?
I think we pick each other. We should actually pick the best for us. Me and the man also.
Okay. What do you think?
I think it depends on the situation. It depends on your ages, where you're at in your life. Obviously, men prefer younger women. So, what age ranges are we saying are their best years?
I mean,
Are we saying
it's
up to
different.
30,
It's
up to
different for. I didn't say an age.
Yeah.
So you could say 40. You could say 45. You could say 35. You could say.
She did say age range like between 22 and 24, 25, something like that. She did say. Typically, men like women about 18 to 25. That is a woman's prime. That is when she is good for being a wife. That is when she is most able to be a submissive wife. When a lot of indoctrination and modernized thinking hasn't been put into her, and she's a little bit more pure. Maybe she hasn't had as many sexual partners, so it makes sense why a man would desire a woman in that age bracket. I don't know if this brother is about to say something contradictory to that, but that's what I've come to learn about men, as far as having four brothers and just seeing how they are, a father seeing how he is, and then just watching men as a whole. Men tend to want younger women. The older you get, the less desirable and the less value that you have.
30. That's I don't
As a
tell
woman.
men what
So
to
if
think.
they're 40
yeah.
or they're 45, on
Yeah.
average, men prefer younger women and women prefer older
Yeah.
men. So I'm guessing the man is older. So why wouldn't she expect monogamy? Like, is he going to go younger than the 40?
I'm saying isn't that a unfair deal for men because he's not getting the things that men value.
But it depends on the age. So say
Mm-hmm.
you're 50 and you're going out with a 40-year-old. Like, what more do you want, bro? Like, do you know what I mean?
Once a 35
A 35-year-old
Yeah.
or a 30-year-old.
Yeah.
Then you should have went for a 30-year-old. So why did you go for the 40? That's the point.
That's why I said it depends on the
okay,
age.
but the question, okay, so the reason I asked this is because I think a lot of women would have better results if they took that off the table. But they think they're a higher value than they are because they're selling the same price they had at 22 that they are asking for at 35, 45, even though they're on sale, they're on discount. Because you're not as sorry.
Now you're degrading women, saying
it's
women
not-
their
Let's say that.
value is they're getting less value as they get older.
In the sexual
when you're getting
marketplace.
more wise and more wisdom and all that sort of an experience, you're
That's
in
the-
everything. You're evolving.
Men don't want experienced women. We want experienced men because we want to be able to trust that they know what they're doing, that they're going to know how to provide and give us that security and protection. But as a woman, a man values a woman who's less experienced so that he can fill her up. And that's it.
And becoming
Yeah,
a better
because
woman.
even
because
better.
you're telling men what to think.
I'm not telling.
No.
I'm saying in this room. I'm talking about now.
She
I'm
can't
saying,
even say it with a straight face.
No, I'm saying that
You're saying value me for my experience, but like they don't want that. They don't care.
You just said that your value is dropping
In
as
the
you're getting
sexual
older.
marketplace, yes.
Well, sex isn't all that you
I'm
bring
not-
as a woman. You
I'm
bring
saying.
more things to
Okay.
you bring more things than just sex. If it's just sex,
Okay.
then go have
Do you
sex.
do you want to marry someone you can't have sex with?
No.
Do you want to marry
sex
someone you
isn't-
can't have
sex
sex
isn't
with?
the
Do you want to
only
marry? Do you want to marry
Hell
someone?
no. Sex is a
No,
big part of
it starts with sex.
Sex
Sex
is not
is a
the
big part of it.
only
For
thing
women,
that's
for
on the
women,
table.
for
That's the
women,
point
not
I'm
for
trying to
men.
make.
Okay, like how big is sex to you in a relationship?
Well, it will keep me in a relationship.
No, honestly, like one question, may I? Like,
Yeah.
do you best sex with like 18, 20 years old girl or with a 30, 35, 40 women?
I don't really tend to rate sex like that. When I go into sex,
No, because
I
we're
ulti-
saying that
I
we're dropping
ultimately-
Yeah,
by
that's-
age. So
No,
I'm
but-
just
no,
asking from
okay,
your
so-
point of view. Just, I'm not saying to, just.
What she's saying is about men as a collective.
Yeah, that's what I'm
And
asking.
what she's saying is correct.
Speaking to the mic, my bro.
Yeah, and what she is saying is correct because when women get to a certain age, men do see them as less valuable.
Yeah, why? I'm asking why. Because they
youth,
had
like I
sex.
said, youth purity. You automatically see a younger girl. She looks younger. She looks more attractive. You think that you hope that has less mileage than an older
Mm-hmm.
woman. So naturally, your first thought is, I'm dealing with someone who hasn't been run through, who doesn't have a higher mileage.
Her face moves. There's no like Botox foreheads.
Right.
So all of this now, is it about going into new relationships? That's the point I'm trying to get to.
Yes.
Is that what we're
so,
talking about?
So the point is, okay, if you're coming to a guy over a certain age, is it fair to expect monogamy when you gave your best years to someone else? Is that a fair deal? Is that a fair deal for men to be monogamous to you when some other guy got your best years?
It's unfair to assume that a woman's given all her best years to
Yeah.
someone else.
Exactly.
That's my.
They not listening. Your best years are when you are younger. Your best years are not the years you dictate. Your best years are the years when you are younger, because that is when men care about youth and purity. If from 15 or 16 to 25, you've been having sex with a whole bunch of different guys, when you get to a man and you're finally ready to be married, yes, he's going to look at you like you have less value than a woman who decided not to do that and decided to wait until she got married. Like, that's just what it is. Like, it's not, we don't have to get, delusional about it. It just is what it is.
But you're telling men what to value.
No, I'm not telling men. I'm saying it's unfair to assume
Okay.
that a woman has given her best to someone else.
Okay, so but that's like going up to guys and they're saying, hey, you know, I like 22-year-olds, maybe 27, 22 to 27. That's what I think's the best. And then you're going up to guys and saying, well, that's not my best years. I think my best years are 30. When they're like, not really.
When you say best, what do you mean?
The most
exactly?
valuable.
Is it because,
The most valuable.
but valuable in what way? What
In
is the val-
the
what is
market wants it the most.
Okay, so are you talking
Yeah.
about bearing children or
Bearing
youthful
children, the way you
skin,
All
being
of
younger?
that.
bearing children, the way you look,
Right.
less bodies.
But
Everything.
if
It's
someone,
everything.
Everything.
if someone is
Everything.
40 and she's had less bodies than a 20-year-old and she looks younger than the 20-year-old, who's more valuable then?
Again,
Because
The 40-year-old then in that scenario would be more valuable. Duh.
you're looking for an extreme exception.
No,
show
I'm
me
asking a
140.
man.
Show me one 40-year-old that
And if she's that much less experienced than a 20-year-old and her value is that much higher than a 20-year-old, that 40-year-old would be married. Trust.
looks younger than a 20-year-old.
I'm 35.
Yeah,
I
and
look
she
younger
doesn't
than
look
my niece.
35.
You don't look
honestly
20.
speaking.
You
I
don't
don't
look
say
20.
20.
Honestly,
I
come
never
on
said
now.
20.
Yeah.
Let's
You-
let's
I
get.
I'd give you 30, but like 20. No.
Okay, that's from you.
One mic.
But
Go ahead.
I'm saying, in general, people don't believe me when I
Yeah.
say my age.
Mm-hmm.
So if a woman like myself who doesn't look her age, whose body count is lower than a younger person who's been run through, as you're saying,
Mm-hmm.
would that mean that I'm less valuable or more valuable than a younger girl who looks older than me and has had more bodies?
in the marketplace, you would fall into an exception. You would find that men are extremely surprised, potentially to the point they probably may not believe you. But if we're talking about a collective, most women will tell you that from 18 to 25, they got the most attention from men. And after those years, it dwindled. And that is the point she's making. What she's making is when you get to a certain age, you become less desirable.
I can't
Yeah,
relate.
Ah,
I can't
Because
relate.
you're not a
I
man.
can't relate.
And the thing why they probably saying that they can't relate is because men are probably desiring them for their bodies. When they're talking about less desirable, they're talking about less desirable as a wife. No man is going to want to desire you for the long run. Yeah, sure, after 25, plenty of men will still desire you. But they're going to just desire you for one thing. So that doesn't really make you desirable. We won't really want to put our value into something superficial like that. We're talking about men valuing us as wives. That begins to decline after about 25.
You wouldn't relate because you're not. Yeah, because you're not.
But you are the exception, and that's why it's blowing your mind.
Well, but
because
even at
Yeah.
30, but even at 35,
exceptions.
90% of your eggs are gone by 30. So if
I
a guy,
don't care.
But no,
Like, why does
I'm not.
that matter?
but I don't.
Well, it does
Because-
matter.
because we
why
wanna
does it
bear
come down to your
we wanna
age?
bear
There are
children.
women-
We want a legacy.
One
Sorry,
mic. One mic.
Because okay.
No,
I'm
but
saying,
that's
I'm
really-
saying, I'm
that's
saying,
really-
I was talking and you interrupted me. I
Okay,
said
carry on.
90% of your eggs are gone by 30. So if a guy's looking for a wife, he wants someone that can give him kids. So you're less valuable because you are less likely to give him kids, and you are more likely to lie about your body count. So you could say, "Oh, I have a low body count," but a guy's not going to believe you. He's like, 35. You've been in the streets for 15 years. Yeah, okay.
Well, I don't see the sense in lying, but I'm speaking like.
Because honestly, at 35, I'm 28, and I just got married to the person that I know I'm going to be with for the rest of my life. He knows it. We both know it. So I'm 28. I'm really blessed, like really, really blessed for that. Because honestly, I'm past that point, and I already have a child. I'm a single mother. Like, I'm past that point. Y'all really showed me grace. But like, for a modern mindset woman to think that at 35, like, a man wouldn't think that you was capping, like, something's up. You're not a wife at 35. You had no children, and you claim to have less bodies than a 20-year-old. Well, then what else could possibly be wrong with you? Well, where is your mind at the fact that you're not somebody's wife right now? Men are going to look at that, and they're going to think that you're capping. Trust and believe.
Like I said, I'm the exception or whatever. My eggs dwindling after 30, I think that's really awful to say that a woman's value is less because her eggs.
I said in the sexual marketplace.
Okay, well, in the sexual marketplace, a woman's value is less because her eggs, whatever. Because someone could be 18 or could be diagnosed with an illness and they can't have kids ever.
Women, I'm telling you, when it comes to having conversations about reality-based subjects, it's like, get out of your feelings. You keep talking about the exception to the rule. We're not talking about women who have PCOS or issues with, like fertility issues and stuff like that. We're talking about a regular woman who did whatever it was that she did to land herself single, childless at 35. That's what we're talking about.
Or there's probably women that don't even want to have children and they're living their best life.
Okay, but when you're arguing the extremes, that means you are, because you don't have a good argument, because that's not the rule. And
I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just saying it's a bit odd to put.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Auntie.
can I just say that? I don't know why women just don't get it. Because
is it women or me? Because just say me.
No.
I actually agree with you.
You're not the only. Everyone to say you, I'd say you, but I'm just saying women as in general, because
It is because
at 35, right, you can be looking good at 35.
Come on, Auntie.
And you can get with a man at 35, and say you're gonna get with this man. You're gonna have a 5-year relationship with him, and then start having kids. Think about you're 35, you're going to start having kids at 40. It's not going to be the same as somebody who is 20 being with that man for 5 years and having children. It doesn't matter how good you look. It doesn't matter about your body, because you can't beat biology. That's what's going to happen.
No, but see, this again, like what you're saying, Auntie, is a great point. It's like women don't get it, and the facts are, it's like women can come out and say, I want someone who's 6 foot plus tall, that drives a nice German car, that makes X amount of money.
Why?
One thing that I've noticed is it's hard, and this was hard for me too. It's hard for a woman to face reality when reality is contradictory to what she's living in right now. So I saw the sister getting offended, and it's like, if we were just to take things for what they were and then apply them in our lives, then we would be having a better ability to change the outcomes of the situations that we continue and the patterns that we continuously see in our lives. So that's what I did for myself. It was like I was seeing a continuous pattern in my life. I was a promiscuous woman. I was getting close to 30, and it was like I didn't have a husband, and then I did have a husband, and then I didn't respect him, and I wasn't submissive, and then I didn't have a husband again, and now I am married, and I know, and I've learned, I've took things from podcasts like this, just listening to women like this, and also my own personal life, and I've put them together to apply, because it's getting to a point. I'm 28 years old. 28. After 30, my likelihood of having a child begins to decline. I'm ready and willing to face this reality and accept the consequences of my actions, but being delusional does nothing but set us further back. And there's plenty of men out here right now that are looking for wives, and there's plenty of women who have the potential to be wives if we just begin to accept reality for what it is. Women do not age like wine. Men do. Women age like, I don't know, cheese or something. It gets stankier the more you let it sit and ferment in whatever it's fermenting in. Okay, so like it's not like wine. We do not get better with age. We lose our value with age, and it's just what it is. I don't know. It's not offensive to me. I just accept it for what it is, and that just made me turn up my submission and turn up my respect and become the woman that I know the man that I want to attract wants me to be. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for tuning in with me today. I appreciate you. I care about you, and I hope that everything is going well for you. If you haven't already, make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click that notification bell so you know every single time that I make a video, you won't miss it. I wish y'all the best. Shalom.